Hello everyone, I'm Paul with many voices, and welcome to what's going to be my final prison in Prison Architect. Since 11 has recently released what they call final update, the sunset update to Prison Architect 1, I've decided to do one more prison as your prison architect and close this game off properly. I just forgot to do that here and there. So, as you can see, I have already planned out everything in this prison, well, except for the objects in the cells. But yeah, these are going to be regular cells, not dormitories. So, for this final prison, I've chosen a medium-sized map rather than a small or a large one. The crater eventually became a large map. It started out as a medium map, but due to the game crashing thanks to the constant DLCs from 11 fucking up everything, I had to make a new map on a large one, and then we have that. So, yeah, I've already laid out pretty much everything, except some of the stuff in the staff rooms here, but that'll be once I get there. I'm starting with $100,000, despite the fact that I've already laid out all of the outside paths, including those, and those. All of the fences, which are going to be fences, except for the fact that the fences out here are only temporary until this entire place is complete. And yeah, I'm starting with $100,000. But that wouldn't be me if I didn't decide to repay that once I have $100,000 back in the bank. Because of course I'm going to be using the grants to guide myself and to guide you through this prison. Now, a fun fact about this entire thing. I am recording this on Thursday, August 3rd. And the Crater Prison still hasn't completed yet on YouTube. Not only that, I am streaming this with Facecam. Hi, by the way. Not on Twitch, but on Kick. And I'll leave a link in the movie description if I remember. So, yeah, this is how the planning looks, how the paths look. It's grass all around, including here. And all of the places that have dirt are gonna have foundation. And I am most proud of this, and this, and this, and on the opposite side as well, of course. Because I do love me some security checkpoints. However, I've talked long enough. Let's actually start building. Now, this is going to be a minimum security prison. This. And I'm going to be running all the programs that I can. Because I want to focus on reform properly this time. So, let's hope we have some reform. Besides that, well, yeah, I'm gonna make the rooms as high quality as they can. And once I have logistics which requires prison labor for some reason, then I can show you what each specific room that has a room quality needs in order to become as high as possible. Now, I am not quite certain that I can do it for all the rooms, for the full 10 out of 10, but I'm gonna do as much as possible. But first, let us go to the grants. Now, I am aware that certain people have never seen or played this game, so I am going to give you one final time a complete walkthrough, an explanation on what everything is, what everything does, at least the stuff that I know, as well as why I do things in certain orders. So you want to start out with your Grants Administration Center and Basic Detention Center. And I'm going to be starting out with throwing rooms in random places, or at least they may seem random to you, but they are not to me. Not just that. For the exterior, I am currently using the classy blue walls, but eventually the outer wall will be Yutani. But as you can see, the Yutani wall will cost me 110 per square, whereas the classy blue wall will cost me only 60. Now, of course, I could, I don't know if this one is cheaper or that one is cheaper, but I'm not gonna chance it. So, I want to start out with 2 offices, which I'm gonna go right here. And I am going to be building the hallway as well. This is going to be a staff-only hallway in the back, as well as for visitors, because over here we'll have visitation. And this will be all secured for the inmates for their work-related stuff. As well as this. There's going to be a one-way security in and then one-way security out. We're going to be using farming, we're going to be using forestry and a little bit of flower fields and everything. But like I said, you want to start out with 2 offices. Now an office needs to be at least 4 by 4, but I'm making mine 5 by 4 because that fits better. This is actually my first stream on Kick, so I'm not too familiar with how it works. But a lot of people seem to really favor Kick in terms of, I don't know, well, they favor it in favor of Twitch. So I'm gonna see what is what. Oh yeah, something I also need to do in mutators. For the start of this prison, I had this all turned on for the planning stage, and for the other stuff, for the construction of the paths and the flooring. So we're gonna just see my workmen get to work. Now, all of these trees are, or all of these logs came from the trees because I did start with forests. Because that's always useful, it's always a bit of extra cash on hand. If you start a new prison, let me show it to you. You want to generate forests, because you can just chop down the trees, and that's going to create a bit of extra revenue if you're going to export it. In the DLC settings, I currently have the gangs disabled. Oh no, wait. I'm supposed to show you that. Here. Map settings. Gangs are low. Lieutenants 10. Weather intensity low. I have the fog of war on. Always have that. Failure conditions on. Always have that. Events on. I always have that. Temperature, ever since they implemented that, I always have that on. Especially because it works really well with weather intensity. Staff needs and escape plans are on. I'm gonna leave tropical fever off for now. Prisoner aging I will turn on. Undead is gonna remain off. Dynamic reputations low. I'm gonna turn this off for now. Cleared for transfer is on. I'm using all dogs. I'm using Savara Aknova because she gets a small cut of the resale value of each piece of contraband. And prisoners found with contraband will be fined directly from their savings. So if prisoners work and they have contraband and that contraband gets found, the value of that contraband will be subtracted from the money they have on hand. In terms of uniforms, I'm gonna keep things as are because I just don't really care. I sadly don't have all the Polaroids yet. Most of this is from the campaign, which I recently replayed. But there are a few here that are also from the campaign, but also a few that are just found throughout your normal prison. So I believe that from here... No, wait, that means that I do have all of the... Okay, so basically all of the Polaroids that I'm missing from here on out are Polaroids that you find in your prison. I will, of course, collect them if I see them, but if I don't find them, then oh well. Tough luck for me. So I'm throwing a door here because for a foundation to become a complete building, it needs a door on the outside. Or it just needs the walls to be not there, but you can only demolish walls once they're in place. So I'll demolish those walls and those walls right there. Speaking of walls, doors will take priority over walls. So that's why you see the two red squares there, because I already placed doors there. And as long as you don't have prisoners in your prison, all doors will remain open. So, for administrative center, I know I also clicked basic detention center. We'll get to that in a second. We're gonna need 2 offices. 1, 2. Now for the grants, you'll see that certain rooms are encircled with white. Here you have the padded holding cell, but not the regular holding cell. I don't know what they did to mess that up, but they did, and I don't really care. So, for the grants that I currently have active, I can drag this over here. You see that I need offices, so that's highlighted. I need a holding cell, that is the padded holding cell in this case. A shower, right here. A yard, right there. Kitchen and canteen, kitchen, canteen. And then 2 other stuff. There. I've already taken care of reading the letters from the wardens, or from the CEOs. I don't care to show them. Man, this looks already pretty. Reason I'm recording this so early, while I still have the creator going on until at least October on YouTube, is because I still have 1.5 weeks of vacation left, and I want to be a little productive. I've already finished Graveyard Keeper at this time. I've already finished the final video of Roller Coaster Tycoon at this time. I've long since recorded the entirety of the crater, so I'm just moving on to the next. Now, in order to figure out what needs to be in an office, in order for it to count, you can highlight the room that you have dragged down to see minimum size 4x4. Passed, it's 5x4. An office desk or a desk, fancy. A chair office, wooden stool, chair yellow, swivel chair, metal stool. Don't have that. Filing cabinet or filing cabinet, fancy. Or, what you can do in the objects, type in office, right here, and you see all the objects that can go in an office. Now, for the warden, I'm gonna make his cell, his office, fancy. So he will get the more expensive fancy cabinet compared to the regular cabinet right there. The office chair is more expensive compared to the swivel chair. The office desk, I'm not gonna put in yet, but I will put in the desk fancy, which is slightly more expensive. Now, during my testing of this, and I will be honest, I spent a good 30 hours testing this. Not just testing, but also planning, because this is the second iteration of the prison. The first one was on a large map, and I just couldn't get it done. Even with $250,000 starting money, I just couldn't get it done, and I then decided to go for a medium-sized map, confining myself more, allowing me to have only one of each room, except the classroom. I have 2 of those, and 2 meeting rooms. For instance, this is a visitation, that's a visitation, this is parole, that is parole. But everything else only has 1, except staff rooms. I'm gonna have 4 staff rooms throughout this prison. 1 here, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Anything else? Yeah, the common rooms here and there, canteens here and there. Well, normally I would do like 2 cleaning cupboards and 2 laundries, but here I'm gonna go with 1 big cleaning cupboard and 1 big laundry. But I'm gonna start out with putting a laundry in the shared room with the cleaning cupboard down here, because my intention is to first build the southern half, lock it off, close it off entirely, then get the prisoners, and then continue building and building and building until eventually everything is full, everything is done, everything is nice. Let's see. Okay. So the office is done. Now I need to hire 1 unit of warden, and I'll hire you right here. So the warden is immediately running over to what is now going to be her office. Also, for this prison, for this playthrough, I have turned off auto lighting, because I want to be the one to say where the lighting goes. Now I know that I just need a regular office desk for this one, then in here, bureaucracy, research, finance. Right, so in the meantime, let us look at the basic detention center grants. I need to have a holding cell, a shower, a yard, a kitchen, a canteen, 2 guards, 2 cooks. Now for this, I'm gonna cheese it a little bit by saying I'm gonna build a cheap $3 fence temporarily right over here, right over here, right over here. Now this is the so-called caged fence. And for the doors I'm going to be using 1 door, 2 door, and I do want the fence. No. Here. That's gonna close off that room. Now, I'm gonna show you a cheesy little strat. The shower. Room requirements, shower head. But for instance, for a cell, minimum 2x3, enclosed, surrounded by walls and doors, indoors. There's no such thing for the shower. So, as long as you take 1 tile, like so, and you put in a single shower head, which I believe was right there. As soon as my workman put the shower head in, it's going to count as a shower room. Now a yard needs to be minimum 5x5 and secured by at least 1 door. There. Now, as long as you have the entire prison closed off, for instance, I would have fences over here, and then a road gate over here, same over here, and over there, and over there, and I would have the back end completely closed off. I wouldn't need the doors. But I'm doing it this way because I want to play somewhat minimalistically for starters. So while that is going on, let us move on to the next thing. I'm gonna be building this. I'm gonna throw in a visitor door here, a visitor door there, and then a gray jail door. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is going to be a temporary holding cell. Alright, in the meantime, accounting is done. So, in staff, I'm gonna hire 1 unit of accountants, and that completes the basic detention grant. Now, in comparison to the Crater Prison, I am going to allow myself to pause the game. Also, I noticed something that I fucked up. A couple of hours before the stream started, I decided to change this area and that area a little bit, so I kind of forgot to set that. So I'll pay for that, because otherwise I would have that done, then wait for it to be done, then edit the save file to give myself $100,000 again, so that I wouldn't have to pay for that. But yeah, that's not how we play this. An honest mistake, but as you can see, the shower is done. The shower head does require water, but doesn't matter. The yard is done. It doesn't have any items in whatsoever, but it's done. Now that I have the accountants, I'm gonna hire 2 more workmen. Because with the accountant now present, I am allowed to go into negative daily cash flow. But first, I always research those 2 first, and then the warden will research micromanagement and policy. For starters. Now, the reason this game is lagging so much is because, for some reason, my computer isn't up to snuff anymore. Also, you may have noticed that I replaced all of the lamps on the outside with street lamps on both sides of the road. In increments. I just like that a lot better. So yeah, one of my workmen is on break. He's pissed off because he doesn't have a proper break room. He doesn't have a place to sit, or to shit, or whatnot. And he's just gonna have to deal with it. And there's my cat. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a spoiler heads up. The prisoners, in order to get into this side of the building, the outside of the building, they will have to go through a security checkpoint right here. Either through here or through there, before they are allowed into the places where they work. Same over here. Go in here to go into the workshop, the flower field, the forestry, and the farming field, fruit orchard, and vegetable allotment, and then out here again. And you get out either through here or through here. And this was the last addition to my planning. I wanted to do this, like create a proper security check-in. I originally had it just here, that they would have to walk in here, all the way over to here in order to get to the common room, and then all the way out here. But I decided I can do this easier. So I would sacrifice this back section here, because this was just big enough to have it done this way. And it looks nice as well. Right, we have this. So, a holding cell. Now, as I said, this is only going to be a temporary one. Requires 5x5. Got that. Enclosed, surrounded by walls and doors. Got that. Indoors. Got that. Toilet. or a toilet and a bench, or a bench wall, or a bench oak, or a bamboo bench. So, temporarily, I'm actually gonna place the toilet there, and a bench right here. Now, despite the fact that the toilet isn't connected to water, it's still going to count. And you may be wondering, why do I have walls right over here and right over here? That is for later. Now, next up, before I start working on the kitchen and the canteen, there's one more room that I need to build. And that's gonna be right over here. Actually, no, wait. I'll start with this. There, because this is already the entrance, so that works perfectly fine. But also, I'm going to be using staff doors, because I still have one to spare. Rotate this one so that it opens the proper way. Then you need to open this way, and you open that way. Now this is going to be the power and water. And despite the fact that I will be using green power, temporarily it's going to be on the outside here, and possibly on the outside here, because I'm going to have 2 power plants and 2 water pumps. They're only temporary. I am going to run this prison on green energy, and even though that so prison labor needed to be researched, no, it's actually micromanagement that needed to be researched in order to get logistics. The room quality, as you can see, the yard, due to its size and the fact that it already had running tracks, it's only a 4 out of 10. Now this is going to be a 10 out of 10 yard. Same with eventually this. And other rooms that you can grade are classrooms, gymnasiums, common rooms, canteens, and I believe, and cells, of course. And I believe that's it. The holding cells, the family cells for the mothers with children, the padded cells, the padded holding cells, and both the regular and padded solitary are all rooms that cannot be graded. So don't bother throwing extra stuff in there if you're gonna play as cheaply as possible. So despite the fact that this room is currently a 4 out of 10, I'm gonna leave it as is for now. But eventually I'll throw in everything it needs. And I already have the perfect place for everything for now. Now I believe that is in here as well. The road gates. Yes, I was looking for you. There. And just to have it done, I'll throw one there too. So as you can see, the holding cell is now complete. And thus, let us continue with laying in the foundation for the final 2 rooms. I'm actually gonna do this room as well. All the way up to here. And then I'm going to add this hallway. You know what? Let's add 5 more workmen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still positive daily cash flow despite that. But everything is fine. In the meantime, I'm going to start the short-term investment as well as the staff well-being initiative. Thank you. So, as I said, this place is gonna have a total of 4 staff rooms. And since the kitchen is going to be right here, this is gonna be the canteen. This is gonna be 1 staff room. That's the one I'm gonna be building first. And I like to add the doors right away where I know that I will have them. So we're gonna have a door here. Gonna have a door here. We're gonna have a staff door here. A regular door here. A double staff door here. And 1 staff door. Oh, we already have that. There. Okay. So this room is now done. Except it requires some walls. It has a light right here. And then we're gonna start out with our free $5,000 power station. And $5,000 water pump. And I'm gonna be running, as silly as it may look, the pipes on the outside of the cells. Not just that. I know for a fact that I want the pipes to run through here. Probably even further, but for now it's gonna be here. Yes, I do, because of that. Even though I didn't put it in the planning, I do remember that in my final testing, I put the water boiler in here. So we're gonna do that. As such, already gonna put in the pipes for the water boilers that I know there will be water boilers. And I'm a sucker for symmetry. So that's where those pipes are gonna be. And in electrical, I'm gonna start out with one free $1,000 capacitor. But I'm also adding a $2,000, 2 of them, capacitor max plus. And 1 power line. Now in terms of the power line, gonna drag him all the way out over to here. Here. And I know that it may seem that I'm wasting money by already throwing in the power lines. You're right. It is kind of wasteful. But this way I know that I won't have to worry about that when the time comes. So this goes up to there. As such. This will go down here. It doesn't need to go further than... Actually, it does need to go further than that. To here. And there. And then there. As for this... I guess up to there. And I guess that is the run here. Okay. Well, for YouTube, I'm gonna be closing it off here. When I get back, all of the large pipes will be put in, all of the electrical wire will be put in, and the foundation of the kitchen, canteen, staff room will be done already. Though I will not be placing in any of the room designations or the objects without you. So I'm Paul with many voices. I thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Helps out a great deal. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.